Are you curious about the commute from Tacoma to Seattle, Washington? How long is a commute? Is it too much of a commute? If you're curious about those things, you came to the right place. Hi, my name is Gus Montgomery. In today's video, we're going to talk about the commute from Tacoma to Seattle. The reason somebody will make this commute is Tacoma is a lot cheaper place to live than Seattle, Washington. For a single family home, the median home price in Seattle is $875,000 versus Tacoma, Washington, where a single family median home price is $455,000. And if you look at condos, the median home price for condos in Seattle are $525,000 versus Tacoma for $385,000. A lot more affordable to live in Tacoma to Seattle, but a lot of people still have to commute to Seattle for work. It's a very common commute for a lot of people living in the area. But how long is the commute? Is it really as bad as people make it out to be? So stay tuned to follow me to my laptop.
All right, welcome back to my laptop. We are here to talk about the drive from Tacoma to Seattle, Washington. So we're looking at the commute from Seattle to Tacoma. Let's look at if it was without traffic. So we'll just put 2 a.m. for this example. So the commute from Tacoma to Seattle without traffic is 35 to 45 minutes. That's not bad considering how much cheaper it is to live in Tacoma than Seattle. The big question is, if you're commuting from Tacoma to Seattle for work, what would that commute look like? So let's do a Wednesday midweek, and let's do a 6:30 time. That's a very common time for people to start driving to work. So as you can see, the commute increases, estimated 55 minutes to 2 hours. And that is a pretty long commute. So increase from 35 to 45 minutes to 55 to 2 hours. Let's look at if it's at 7 o'clock in the morning. It actually increases again to estimated 1 hour to 2 hours and 10 minutes. That is a pretty substantial commute time. Let's look at 7:30, about the same. So if you're commuting to work from Tacoma to Seattle between 6:30 and 7:30, which is a very common commute time, you can possibly be in traffic up until 2 hours. There's a lot of people that are doing that commute. And granted, this is just estimation. We are typing in Tacoma to Seattle, which drives into downtown Seattle. So depending on where you work in Seattle, this commute may vary. And also depending on where you live in Tacoma, this commute may vary by maybe 10, 15 minutes. But generally speaking, this is the commute from Tacoma to Seattle if you are choosing to make that commute for work. So let's talk about the commute from Seattle to Tacoma in the evening after your work day is finished. So let's look at the Wednesday midweek example, and let's just pick 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is a pretty common time for people to come home from work. So from Seattle to Tacoma, generally speaking, the commute is 55 minutes to 1 hour and 25 minutes. Not that bad compared to the morning commute of up to 2 hours. You are cutting time. Let's kind of play around with the time a little bit. Let's go 6 o'clock. It actually decreases a little bit, 45 minutes to an hour. Let's look at the commute at 4 o'clock from Seattle to Tacoma. Okay, so about 55 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes. Yes, this is an estimated range. But if you are choosing a commute from Tacoma to Seattle for work, and then you're coming home from Seattle to Tacoma in the evening, it's good to know what your commute will look like. But let's also say that, hey, you want to go to Seattle for a weekend brunch, or there's an event happening in the Seattle area. What's that commute look like? On a Saturday at 4 o'clock, your commute estimated. Actually, let's switch that around. From Tacoma to Seattle is pretty average, pretty normal, 35 to 55 minutes. If you're going, around brunch time at 12, 35 to 55 minutes. So the commute from Tacoma to Seattle is not that bad without traffic, but it gets a little difficult when you are commuting to work in the morning from Tacoma to Seattle and on your way back. But this is just to give you an idea of the commute. If you are choosing to live in Tacoma, Washington, you're still benefiting from the extremely lower median home prices in Tacoma versus Seattle. So if you are comfortable with the times that you see on your screen, then Tacoma may be an ideal fit for you. And again, this is just to give you an idea of the commute from Tacoma to Seattle.
All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Tacoma to Seattle commute. If you find value in this video, please like and subscribe to his YouTube channel, and I'll continue to provide more value going forward. Until next time, take care.